We're here with Leigh Woolford from Blue Wolf Photography. He has gracefully given his time to talk about a couple of things. The main point today is really about how he's photographing his preschool and kinder kids, which I found fascinating because in Australia, where the style is usually free photography and being able to photograph the kids in their own play environment, which brings its challenges, of course, when trying to match the children's photos to their names and so on. So I heard that Leigh came up with an amazing thing, which I haven't heard of in the preschool sector before, which was photographing wirelessly. So I thought it'd be really interesting for people to get to have a look on the inside of how that actually works. Leigh, if you just want to do a quick introduction of yourself, that'd be wonderful, mate.
Hey, I think you've said it all. My name's Leigh. I'm Blue Wolf Photography. We're South Gippsland in Victoria, but primarily photographing sort of southeast suburbs of Melbourne is where we're generally working. We work with schools, childcare centres and kindergartens mainly. And yeah, our main source of work is primarily our early learning centres or childcare centres. And most of them prefer natural play photography, which is indoor and outdoor play space or play-based learning. And that's where a lot of our photography is done.
I guess the big question here would be the why.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to change into tethered, but tethered wirelessly? What was the reasoning behind that? I guess is the start question.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was probably 3 or 4 main reasons that we had to change that. The first one is there's quite a few issues around taking technology into play spaces, and phones especially are a big no-no in Australia. So it was a great workaround that we can take a laptop in as opposed to a phone that isn't connected to the outside world. And that we found that centres found that a lot more comfortable. That wasn't actually the main reason for us. We were actually doing it before that came in last year. But the main reason for me was accountability for our photographers. So the work that they were providing us was that they're almost doing quality inspection as they were going. And also a lot of it was to do with time, with how much time they were spending taking photos. With natural play photography, it's there's a lot going on. So as opposed to a portrait or studio-based photography where everything's really structured, there's a lot of changes that occur in natural play photography. So we find that the more things we can structure for our photographers, the better their work is, because you've got indoor to outdoor. You might have to switch like one photo to the other. Lighting changes, sun comes out, sun goes away, rain, no rain, wind is actually probably the worst one that we get down here. So the more problems that we can take away from our photographers, the better their work gets. So they were the main reasons. And the other reason is the time. So photographers were second guessing themselves in how much time they were taking to get photos and the amount of photos they needed to get. So quite often when they were doing it themselves, they might be taking 50 or 60 photos and then culling it down to 15 to 20. Whereas shooting tethered, they've got a direct feed into where they're at with each child. So we're cutting down the amount of photos they're taking to maybe 23, 24, and then they're only culling from there.
So that's obviously saving time, saving cost.
100%. And it means that we can get more done in a day.
Okay, so moving on. So we're ready to photograph.
Yeah, perfect. So our photographers grabbed that data off that schedule. They've gone into the centre. They've got their list ready to go. So what they would do you mind if I turn the screen? So first thing they're going to do is they're going to load up PhotoLink. And this is the beauty of shooting tethered, is that you have all that data with you for the shoot. And it means that anything you want to do, I've just been able to use the full resources available to you is such a benefit.
Yeah, and just to come in, just briefly for those who don't know, PhotoLink, basically the information that you've imported into your NetLife system, now it is local onto that laptop, ready for the photographer.
Yeah, and there's no internet requirement necessary for this either once it's loaded. So, our photographer's got their camera. So they're ready to shoot. We've got our test subject, which was test 1 that we booked in the other day. And we use this fancy little device here, which is called a Cam Ranger. So these actually came out in 2013, I think, or 2014. It's basically a wireless transmitter. So what it does is it connects to your camera. Your computer connects to this like it would a modem. And it's just basically a file transfer device. So it'll work anywhere up to 25 meters, I think. So we tend to use it. We'll just put it up somewhere high inside, and as we need to change students, we just come up and change who we're photographing at the time.
So so how far away, like if we're at a kinder preschool, where would the laptop be situated? Like if we talk those logistics sort of things.
So somewhere high. So the kids, or it depends. Like the older kids, they get really intrigued with what you're doing. So sometimes I'll let them help me with the computer. But ideally, you have it sitting up high somewhere in a room. You only need to move it between inside and outside. So within that perimeter is fine.
Yeah.
So wherever the teacher keeps their first aid kit in the room is a great spot to put your laptop. And then same outside, wherever the first aid kit is normally where I look for.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do with this is it just connects into the side of the camera here. Same as your tether cable. And then you just need to connect to it like you would an internet connection. Here it is there, Cam Ranger.
If you can just drop the camera down so we can see that. Yep. Yep.
Do you want me to do it?
No, that's fine. I think we'll get the idea. It's basically connecting to a Wi-Fi, a modem.
Yeah, so we're just connecting to a modem, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we should be able to just come into Cam Ranger here, which is the program that comes with the wireless.
So Cam Ranger is like the utility. Like
Yeah. Realistically, Canon has its own built-in Wi-Fi transmitter. So you can actually do it direct from your camera as well. They're just not particularly strong.
Yeah. Have you had, and on that note, have you had any examples of shooting with different cameras with inbuilt Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I believe Sony's a lot better with their built-in transmitters. So we generally use Canons, and we've just found that the built-in Wi-Fi is not particularly strong. And for those that know, the Canon utility is not amazing either. So it can open and close quite often.
Yep.
So we just find that these work really well. Now they do. There is a new Cam Ranger these days.
The Cam Ranger 2, I think, isn't there, or something like that?
Yep.
So this is the Cam Ranger, for example. I'm sure there's others on the market here. It's this. Obviously, we're not selling Cam Ranger. We're not affiliated. Let's just. This is an example of what you use. And it seems to work well for you. It's very stable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a very stable way to do it. So that's all up and connected.
Yep.
So basically, any photos that we take through the Cam Ranger goes into the spool directory for PhotoLink, and then we'll obviously come up. So
now it's about. So now it's about clicking on the right subject and photographing. Done.
And there you are.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's a really simple process, and it gives you all the benefits of shooting tethered, but being hands-free.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and this is sort of the million-dollar question that when I've talked about what you do to other companies, they there's a lot of sentiment to go, there's no way I could do that in my photography style.
Yeah.
Which the interesting part is here of where's the laptop, what's the logistics around photographing, and do you think it works for you because you have a more structured photo day?
I think I'm very open to trial and error as well. I think I learned a long time ago that anytime I say to myself it won't work for me, or it's just the way I've always done it, is a great indicator that there's a better way, or another way that's going to suit us. And just that ability to make life easier for your photographers is always something we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. And so just one more rundown. You've got the laptop somewhere up a high, somewhere in the vicinity of how many meters would it be to you at the photographer?
Within 10 to 15 meters.
Within 10 to 15 meters. Yep. So you've got little Jimmy go click, little Jimmy.
Yep, absolutely.
And then let him play, do his thing, or
yeah. I think the beauty of it as well is that if you see, especially natural play, you might see something that you want to photograph that someone else is doing, and because you've got that visual representation on the computer, you can quickly go and photograph someone else and then go back to the computer and drag and drop that to where it needs to go.
Okay, so you're not losing the moment.
Yeah, so you're getting those in the moment photos that parents can really cherish.
Yeah,
and you're not missing them because you're trying to because you've got no ability to figure out that data later, if that makes sense, or it is harder to figure that out at a later date.
Yeah, and I guess that's some of the conversations I've had around this are in the play mode. Yes, you're focused on little Jimmy. Click, yep, great. But what if someone else is there? And just getting back to that and making sure that we're understanding that you're bringing down one child at a time to photograph, or what is the situation there? Let's just make sure we get that.
So especially in the childcare settings, when we do our natural play, we tend to work around what the centre's got organised anyway. So we will photograph one child as much as possible within the constraints of what the centre's doing. So we don't want to put them out of their normal daily routine. So, and we also don't want to take away an educator from what they're doing to have to be involved with what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So we'll normally, a good routine for a centre is that they'll have an inside time for a little while and then they'll head outside. So we'll try to get the inside photos for all the kids done that we need to get done while they're inside. And then as they head outside, we'll go and get their outside photos done too. In a perfect world, we get children done one at a time. Yep. But based on the facts that you're working with children, that doesn't always work perfectly.
Yeah. And has that been a challenge for you in this style, where is there been any problems of, going, oh, who's that kid, drag and drop? Is there any associated problems that you've come across, or?
Not so much with the tethered. Obviously, when we used to use the phone codes, where you weren't really incorporating that data until you got home, and then you'd have to have some sort of memory system or written down explanation for every time something changed. And as I was saying earlier, it's all about taking away those 1,000 things that a photographer needs to remember.
Yeah.
So having the data at the center available for them to change as they're going means that it's not something they have to stress about later.
Yeah.
So I think if you have to jump off and do someone else's photos, while you're at the center and can immediately put it where it needs to go. It's a lot easier than trying to fix it later, or perhaps missing the moment because it's simpler to finish one child first.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I do it. I don't necessarily feel that that's the way everyone needs to do it. It
just
really well.
Yeah, and I think that's the point of today's video, to show everyone that there are different ways, and whether it suits your style or business, that's up to entirely them. And the point of this, and hopefully I'll be doing similar things, interviewing other companies about how they might photograph as well, just to show companies that there are other means or other ways out there. And this is obviously working for you.
Yeah.
I guess almost in a wrap up here, do you think it's achieved the things that you set out that you wanted to achieve?
Yes, because our photographers are much more engaged on the day, because we've taken away some of their concerns or some of the things that they have to worry about. And it makes their job easier on the day, having the data available. Another thing I didn't mention before was the fact that they can write comments directly into the child's name as well. Gives us a lot of data that we can use back in the office as well.
Yeah, for customer service, if someone calls up, all that data gets uploaded for customer service.
Yeah, so anytime there's an issue or something, I ask my photographers to write notes for every child they photograph, pretty much, just so we've got that data available. And that's been a big change for us, because back when we were photographing via the QR codes, it was really hard to get any data from the photographers specific for the children.
Yeah.
So it's also opened up for parents to have more information about readily available.
Yeah.
It's been helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess leading on to, we've got photography, it's cut down time.
Yeah.
And I guess on that instance, previous to you doing what you're doing now, how many kids in an hour or a session or a day would you have done previously compared to now?
So our photographers, previous to doing it tethered, would be able to do around 20 children per day, just 25. And now they're really comfortable up to 30, no problems at all.
Okay, so we've got some percentage growth, 20 to 30, so another 5 to 10 kids per day somewhere.
And qualities come up, so
and
that's another big thing.
Why do you think that is?
Because they've got a visual representation of the photos they've taken, so they can see on the screen the mix of photos that they've taken, what locations the photos are being taken at, and what they still need to do. So whereas doing it via a QR code, they've got to remember that information up here. So it's not necessarily, and when you've got that much data going through your brain, obviously things get missed.
I guess also having that sense, people might go, well, just look at the back of your camera. Yeah. But the way it's set out, you got one photo at a time. It's very different rather than seeing little Jimmy and his 20 photos.
It's telling 5% of the story, not the entire story. Whereas shooting onto the computer, you've got the entire story there, and you are trying to tell a story in a way of, a day in the life of a child at early learning, and that's what we're trying to achieve, obviously, for the parents.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good point, because of again going back to some of the conversations I've had talking about you and how you photograph. It's like, but we don't want to change the style that we're photographing in. So hopefully this might go, you know what, there's another way. Either you want to try it or not. It's just opening the minds up and going, this is something different. And following on from your quality, you said the quality has gone up. So we've got a benefit of time. Obviously time equals cost. And then we've got quality as well that you've said has also gone up of the photograph. What did that equate to?
In
Does it equate to a higher conversion rate in sales, or
Yeah,
higher
100%. So
sales,
higher
or?
quality is always going to equate to better sales. So, and happier parents.
Yeah.
So, parents, when they order, they almost have a sixth sense on how they're going to order based on what everyone else is doing. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a parent within a group that is unhappy with something, and they'll only just buy the base pack, you'll find that you'll get like this outer circle of other people that tend to do the same thing. So the more people that you can make happy, the better your sales get, because everyone around them is feeding off their emotion.
Yeah.
So we tend to find patterns within our centres that equate to how people are feeling when they're looking at the photos. So if everyone's genuinely excited to see the photos and the quality's great, and there's maybe little things that you might miss in camera that you're picking up on the system there that may or may not make the difference in how a parent feels about the photos that are taken, can 100% affects the overall sales for a centre.
Yeah. And of course, that's going to have a knock-on effect. Quality has a knock-on effect, right? To keep that centre and to obviously and then, gain more.
Yeah, obviously with feedback for the centre itself as well, because centres don't get anything out of photographers coming in. It's realistically, it's a pain in the bum for them. It's all about them providing a service for their parents that their parents appreciate and enjoy. Yeah. So if we're having little mistakes creep into our work, in regards to quality or the the selection of photos available or the amount of photos available, or the time it takes to get the photos done and back, even.
Yeah, that was going to be my next questions as far as time frame. So from the last photo day, that you've taken, what is the time frame from the last photo day to job live parents are viewing?
Within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So same thing. We just have a process that we go through. So the photos get uploaded, they get verified, and we use a CRM that like checks off when those things need to be done. So we get reminders if something's behind schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we're getting to that stage as well. I've been delving down into that time frame of last photo shoot to sale, that it has been showing that if we can narrow that gap, then the sales, the shopping cart goes up and everything goes up. If we can close that gap. And it's interesting. I've been working with some companies that they've closed the gap so much that it's next day. Yeah, it really is insane to get that last photo day. Next day the job's live and they're viewing.
For anyone that knows Andy from England, he's same day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's been really intriguing to sort of see the knock-on effects of all these little changes. From the core thing that companies do of actually photographing. And the big thing here is quality. And then the next thing is time frame, cost for a business, of course, time frame to the parent. But it's all very intriguing to keep a track on of what companies are doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any sort of last thoughts that you want to convey to other companies that might be thinking about this way of photographing?
Don't be afraid to try new things, because everything that you repeat that you can automate is one step closer to you getting that work-life balance right. Yeah. And I think that should be at the back of everyone's mind, is making sure that they're not overly working hard on things that could easily be removed. Yeah. It's something that I specifically look at all the time, is how we can cut down on how much work we're doing so we can spend more time doing the things we love.
Thank you so kindly for your time.
No stress. I'll chat to you later. Thanks for that.
All right. Thanks, Leigh. Bye.
Yeah.